Your boy is back on YouTube after like years and years of not uploading. For those of you that don't know, I used to have a YouTube channel back in grade 9, and I used to post like gaming videos and stuff, and a lot of people used to like it, but like they were cringy, yeah. Nevertheless, your boy is back, and I'm planning on posting a lot more parkour orientated content, like parkour vlogs, training videos, tutorials, stuff like that. And I figured for the first video, why not tell you guys how I got into parkour, and like kind of my journey on how I've come to where I am at the moment. And yeah, let me tell you about how I started doing parkour, and at the end of the video I will give you guys some tips on how you could get started with doing parkour too, so stay tuned till the end of the video. I'm so stiff. But yeah, anyways, so I first started doing parkour when I was in grade 7, so I was about 13 years old. And the thing that made me want to do parkour, believe it or not, was a movie called Wendy Wu Homecoming. And it's basically a movie about like kung fu kind of people, but in the movie this one guy does what's called a butterfly kick, and I thought it looked really cool, so I tried copying it, and I used to do it like everywhere I went. So yeah, I was basically just doing butterfly kicks everywhere, nothing really parkour related. But one day my brother Liam, he introduced me to this movie called District 13, and if you haven't watched it, I recommend you do, because it is insane. The main actor is this guy named David Bell, and he's known as the creator of parkour. Well, not the creator of parkour, he's more like the father of parkour. And after watching that, then I was like, yo, I need to do the stuff like proper, because that in the movie he's like jumping off buildings and stuff like that. So after watching that, I started watching YouTube tutorials on how to do like the basic kind of parkour moves, like parkour roll, vaults, climbing up stuff, different movement kind of things. So yeah, that was basically the whole of grade 7. I only did movement related things. I didn't do any flips whatsoever. I was so scared to do flips. And my brother Liam, the one that I mentioned earlier, he'd been doing flips for like a couple years, I think, and he tried teaching me a backflip, and I landed flat on my head. So yeah, I didn't attempt to do flips for a while after that. So when grade 9 came, I had a bigger desire to want to learn flips and more complicated moves, but I was really scared of actually just committing to the move and like attempting it first try, because obviously fear is a big thing when learning new moves. So I started off by taking my butterfly kick and kind of getting it more and more vertical. So I ended up doing like a side flip kind of thing, and I was like, oh, this isn't too bad. So yeah, so the whole of grade 9 basically I did side flips the whole year, since it was the only flip I could do. And this is just an example of learning how to do flips by using progressions, which I'll mention at the end of the video. So yeah, after practicing side flips for quite a while and getting used to being upside down and stuff, I decided I wanted to learn more harder kind of flips, like maybe backflips. Well, backflips are quite easy, but to me back then it was super hard. So one day when I was at the beach, I met this guy that could do flips, and he basically gave me some advice on how to do it, and eventually I just sent it, and like without thinking, and I actually did it. So getting over the fear in your head first, it's quite a difficult thing to do, but sometimes you just have to commit to it and trust in your body and go for it, because your body doesn't understand how the movement feels at first, because you've never done it before. You've never done it before. So after trying it one time and probably falling on the first time, you'll get more confident in how it feels, and then you'll start getting a hang of it and eventually doing the move. So yeah, since learning the backflip, every year after that, I strive to learn newer and harder tricks. I couldn't train all the time because I used to get a lot of injuries from not stretching properly and just doing things the wrong way. I think I'll have a whole separate video on that, because your boy has gotten hurt quite a bit. Oh, but just one thing I do want to say is that if you do get injured, don't let that demotivate you from maybe like stopping doing parkour or stop learning a certain move, because when I was injured, I almost went into like depression because I couldn't do parkour for like months on end. So you must just push through that time of recovery. It sucks, but it's needed. So anyways, fast forward to now, I'm doing things that I never ever thought I would have been able to do like back in the day. Like stuff like back fulls, corks, and a bunch of other stuff. Like recently I've just learned how to do gainers off of 2 legs, like a standing gainer. And if someone had to tell me back when I started doing parkour that I'd be able to do a standing gainer on concrete, I would have been like, bruh, are you okay? Do you need help? But yeah, so anyways, I want to give you guys some advice if you are thinking about starting to do parkour or maybe interested in trying it out. I have some tips and advice on how to get started properly because I've been through the whole process. A lot of people, when they're trying to get started with parkour, they go immediately for the hardest tricks, like all the flashy kind of tricks. But it's much recommended to learn the basics first. I recommend learning a front roll, a back roll, side roll, and this is just in case you do end up messing up when you're doing a trick, and you can quickly recover, you can quickly roll to prevent yourself from getting hurt. Also, don't try tricks that you aren't physically capable of doing it. So like a move like a back full twist, that takes quite a lot of power and technique. And so rather do things first to build up to that. First practice your spinning, practice your jumping, practice your tucks and stuff like that. So yeah, that was tip number 1. Tip number 2, I recommend watching YouTube videos, specifically tutorials. It's not easy learning tricks by yourself, and I recommend learning from someone else because they've been through it, and if they're posting a tutorial about it, they pretty much decent at it. So yeah, if you're looking to learn new moves, then definitely start off by watching tutorials. I'm planning on posting a couple tutorials in the future, so if you want to check this out, definitely subscribe. So tip number 3 is when you're learning new moves, don't go straight for the move first time. If you're very confident in doing it first time, then by all means go ahead. But it's recommended that you do progressions first to kind of break the move into different parts and slowly build up towards the final move. Like for example, the side flip, the way I learned side flips is that I started doing a B kick, and that's not even like a flip, and I just kept on making it go more and more vertical, and that ended up being a side flip. So yeah, progressions is definitely key. Tip number 4, train safe. I recommend doing flips first time either onto sand or water on a trampoline. Personally, I start off by doing flips into a pool first, then onto sand, then onto grass, then onto concrete. Having access to a trampoline would help quite a bit, like a hell of a lot. But if you don't, just start off by doing it into a pool, then sand, grass, concrete. So yeah, you can start off by doing it straight onto grass if you're really confident, but I recommend doing it onto something soft first and then moving up more and more onto harder and harder surfaces. Tip number 5, consistency is key. When it comes to parkour and to the different moves that it consists of, consistency is so important. If you learn a move on one day, try do it at least 20 times on that day, and every day after that day keep on practicing, because if you don't, your body will end up forgetting how to do the move, and then you're just gonna have to relearn it again. So just drill it into your body until it becomes muscle memory. Then you'll be able to do it like anywhere, anytime. David Bell actually said this one quote, and he said, "Once is never." So yeah, keep on practicing. And finally, tip number 6 is to never give up. When you're practicing a move for the first time, it can become super easy to get demotivated at first, because chances are you're not going to get it first time, or even like the second or fourth or fifth time. So even if you're not getting it at first, just keep on attempting it, and trust me, after a while your body will realize like, oh, so if I do the move this way, then I'm not gonna land it, so let me tweak it and do it another way. So yeah, just don't give up in whatever you are doing. And yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned something new, and if you are wanting to learn parkour, I wish you all the best. I have a lot of cool and interesting videos planned for this channel, so if you want to check them out, definitely subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, and I will see you in the next video.